Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We welcome one and all to today's Jummah program, especially those that are joining us via the live streaming services, Smart Bilal, YouTube and Facebook. Today's Jummah program here at Masjid Al-Haq at the entrance of Stadium, Pretoria, South Africa. Our speaker today is Brother Yusuf Mustafa, who is a seasoned journalist and researcher at Radio 1584 and Medina Media. His topic will be Inshaallah, a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala against Shaitan, the rejected one. I begin with Allah's exalted name. May peace and salutations be upon the last messenger, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, companions, and the Muslim Ummah at large. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala abundantly for making us follow Islam, a way of life whose every expression and action is a way of worshiping Him. From the way we greet one another, to the way we conduct our businesses, to the way we eat, the way we sleep, the way we laugh, and even the way we cry, there is an element of celebrating the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. From Assalamu alaikum to Bismillah wa ala barakatillah to Mashallah, Jazakallah, Barakallah, Subhanallah to Alhamdulillah, every minute of our life is an expression of praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Today, my respected brothers and sisters, honorable friends, we are going to be looking at another very important expression, which is more of a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is the significance of saying Inshaallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has meant using Inshaallah as a command. Now, where do we get the evidence of that? That is in chapter 18 of the Holy Quran, the most popular surah, that is Surah Al-Kahf. And in ayah 23 and ayah 24, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and say not anything except by including Inshaallah. And except when you forget, you must always remember your Lord. In other words, Allah is teaching us here that before you embark on anything that is important, don't forget to say Inshaallah. It is very unfortunate that in today's life, when you hear a Muslim say Inshaallah, you must know that he is trying to run away from a commitment. Either he is lying or he is trying to run away from a commitment. And more importantly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He has emphasized on the importance of Inshaallah by narrating a story. Now there is a story where Allah in Surah Al-Qalam, ayah 17, He tells us a story of two gentlemen who had a vineyard. An orchard rather. An orchard is a field, like a farm, where you grow fruits of various types. So in this story, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says these two gentlemen, they were compassed and they announced in the village, they announced in the community that our orchards are going to produce, or rather they produced beautiful fruits, plenty of fruits. And they say tomorrow we are going to have a bumper harvest. They boldly and pompously say, tomorrow we are going to be having a bumper harvest. So when they woke up in the morning, the entire orchards were destroyed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah sent a calamity and destroyed entire orchards of these two gentlemen. The two gentlemen were shocked that what happened. Then Allah reminds us in this surah, Al-Qalam, that they forgot to say, tomorrow we are going to have a bumper harvest, Inshaallah. Here, the big lesson that we learn is that don't ever say you are going to do such without invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then in the Quran there are several examples of the lives of the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whereby we are told that they never embark on anything except by saying, if Allah wills. One such example is the story of Nabi Ibrahim that we know of. Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, may Allah be pleased with his soul, he had a dream, sacrificing or rather offering a sacrifice of his son Ismail. Now when he narrated the dream to his son Ismail, what did Ismail say? He says, if you had a dream, and this is a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Inshaallah, you will find me willing. And then obviously we know the story, we're not going to go into detail. This story is so important that it forms part of the 5 pillars of Islam, and that is Hajj. We know the story of the sacrifice, Qurbani, and all that is the story that forms one of the 5 pillars of Islam. The most important is that Nabi Ismail said, Inshaallah. We go to the story of Musa alayhi salam, when he was commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to emancipate the people that were oppressed, or his people that were oppressed by Pharaoh. And when Musa, of course under through difficult conditions, when he was commanded, how did he answer Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He says, Inshaallah, you will find me ever ready. And again, we know the story of Shuaib, one of the lofty messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You remember Shuaib was the father of the 2 daughters that Nabi Musa assisted when he found them trying to get water, and it was difficult because there was a lot of people hustling and jostling with one another to fetch water from a well. So Nabi Musa, out of his mercy, he assisted those 2 daughters. And after assisting them to get water, they were amazed. They said, what kind of a man is this? All the men, whenever we come to fetch water here, they don't assist at all. But Nabi Musa assisted. And then obviously this attracted them towards Nabi Musa, and they wanted, one of them actually wanted to get married or to become the wife of Nabi Musa. Coincidentally, Nabi Shuaib also had the same idea that this is a very hard-working man. He made a deal. He says, okay, wait for me for 8 years. Even if you add 2 more years to make it 10, it's fine. But the payment that I'm going to give you is to marry one of my daughters. I'll give you one of my daughters as a marriage towards you. And Nabi Shuaib, he concluded this deal by saying what? Inshaallah. He says, I will give you my daughter in marriage, Inshaallah. And then obviously, it so happened, he was given one of the daughters in marriage. The story carries on, success after success, because of putting the word Inshaallah. We know the story of Nabi Yusuf alayhi salam. You remember, after years of hardship, his family that abandoned him was so dumped him in a well. What happened? They suffered wherever they were left. But it so happened that the family were meant to go to Egypt and live under the leadership of Yusuf alayhi salam. When they came together with his parents, may Allah be pleased with them. I think the father was Yaqub alayhi salam. Yaqub and his mother, Yusuf's mother. When they entered Egypt, they had to ask for permission. And Yusuf alayhi salam himself, he guaranteed safety. He said, don't worry, come here in Egypt, you will have utmost security. And how did he include when he welcomed them? He says, come, nobody is going to persecute you. Allah is going to provide security. Inshaallah. Now, all the beloved Nabis of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, including the last messenger, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, remember when he had a dream, upon the conquest of Makkah, when they returned from exile into Makkah, he had a dream, when they had shaven heads, and Allah provided them passage into Makkah, and in that ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you are going to be guaranteed safety in Makkah forever, Inshaallah. So all these words, every time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us all these stories, concluding that every Nabi, whenever he embarked on a very important task or mission, they never failed to say, Inshaallah. And Allah gives us the reason why you must say that. He says, whenever you mention these words, this task that you are undertaking is guaranteed of a success. If you don't do that, if you don't invoke the words Inshaallah, what happens? That task becomes a flop. That task becomes a disaster. It becomes a failure. Ask ourselves, how many times do we embark on businesses without invoking Inshaallah? How many times do we embark on marriages without saying Inshaallah? How many times our organizations, our sects that we are all having around, embark on fighting with one another because we don't invoke Inshaallah? So, brothers and sisters, the examples from the Quran are too numerous to mention. We can go on and on, but they all point to the fact that our reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inseparable from our very existence. Inshaallah is taken on the same breath as Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. A Muslim can never expect to achieve meaningful results without invoking Allah's grace, mercy, and barakah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.